What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Melissa Renee with BellaMinded.com. But right now, we're doing a segment called Mindful Conversations. A little bit of this, we're gonna get into a little bit of that. I am on Mindful Conversations speaking on celebrities, but it's not gonna be like dragging them, but it's just something that we can learn and gain from them. The first thing I want to talk about, have to finish watching it, but I am going to talk about Ladies First Netflix documentary that I believe was produced by MC Light, and overall it was a nice gesture. I thought the overall documentary was cool, but I'm not gonna lie, it was some contradictions in there that I couldn't really get into or subscribe to. It's just this tone right now. It's like I just feel like it's a lot of propaganda. It's a lot of performative things going on in this society. It's a lot of pandering. And I don't think, I just feel like, black people be being used. Am I the only one? I just feel like black people, we are pawns and don't see it. And it's like we're constantly being used. Like, so for instance, when the first initial episode came on, Queen Latifah was up and she was talking about the struggles of black women. And then she said, you know, women as a whole, but black women. And I'm like, why do we have to do that? No, the struggles for black women. That's it. That's all. Whoever gets offended gets offended. Because I made a TikTok. And my TikTok did say, it says, you know, black people, black women, I want you to stop taking on white people's narrative.
Black women, stop taking on white women's narrative. We do not have the same struggles. I don't care about us being women. We do not have the same.
And that was some of the reason that I said that, because I'm not taking away struggles from other women as far as women and, you know, the other ethnicity or races of women. But I'm sorry. Their struggle does not equate to our struggle. Not in the least bit. They can say, oh, we don't get paid as much as men do. But technically speaking, black women don't get as paid as much as women. We don't get as paid as much. So how am I going to help fight for you or the gap wage between men and women when there's a gap wage between women and black women? Literally, I know people who they express how they're in certain industries where they have to like jump through hoops to get certain positions in their jobs and industries or try to get certain promotions. And women can just do the bare minimum. They don't have to do much at all. All they have to do is show up. All they have to do is know somebody. So you can show up. You can know somebody. You think that the work that you putting in is like, I'm putting in so much work, but yet the work that you think you put in, we putting in 10 times that, just so that we can seem like we are equal to y'all. But then you turn around and complain about you not being equal to a man. So I just don't understand why we constantly put ourselves and become pawns, stronger in numbers for other women's narrative that don't serve us and help us. Because helping them get paid as much as men does not serve and help us when we ain't getting paid as much as you. So we don't have to keep saying, oh, you know, black women have it. I mean, women, no, black women we got some struggles. That's it. We have struggles. And when we do have struggles and adversities, I darn sure don't see these women with the whole feminist movement. I don't see them running alongside of us, holding up no signs. Like, do y'all know that they have been making sure that they keep us divided at all costs since we've been over here in this country? Do y'all know that? So when we sit here and be at each other's throat, like, we doing the work for them. Don't sit there and let them make you think that they sitting here at war with men, because they ain't. They ain't going at they men the way that we be going at our men. And nothing's perfect. Okay? Nothing is perfect. Nothing, like, we all have issues. They're all hangups. Like, my thing is that black women struggles don't supersede black men struggles, and black men struggles don't supersede black women struggles. We both struggling in different ways, but it's still detrimental to us all. It's still detrimental to us all. I don't need to say, oh, well, I'm struggling worse than you struggling. No, we are both struggling. We are both struggling. A struggle is a struggle. A struggle is a struggle. We don't have to compete on who struggles the worst. What we need to be doing is sitting down and actually becoming unified about what can we do to help us as a community to progress, instead of sitting here pointing fingers. We as women really need to have a conversation as black women and talk to each other, because how we want men to respect us when we don't even respect each other.
First of all, Candy was a damn hoe. She everybody for free. Yeah. That bitch was a hoe, and that pussy wasn't good, and that's why you right here always got to date.
Half of us, if not 80% of us, don't even like each other. And we show that every day on reality TV shows. We show that on Twitter. Another thing that didn't sit right with me, they spoke on how male rappers exploited women. I won't take that away. Yeah, that's facts. But then they turned around in the next moment to talk about and, I guess, celebrate Little Kim and Foxy Brown, how they took rap to female rap to another direction because they rapped about or had lyrics that were sexually liberating for women. I can see that. I'm not taking that away. Like, yeah, women should be able to talk and speak about themselves, how they choose. But the thing that was crazy for me is, how can you say that the men exploited women and then turn around and talk about Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown being sexually liberated in their lyrics that were written by men? Men wrote the lyrics. I feel like there is a fine line from being sexually liberated from exploiting yourself for attention. We don't want to talk about that. I feel like that's the problem with this society, is that we don't compartmentalize. We like to just bunch everything up in one. We like to say, well, twerking is from our ancestors.
Did you know?
African women twerk. Yeah, African women did twerk, but they twerked as a ritual. They twerked to make it rain. Okay? And they weren't twerking in thong on Instagram with their butt out. You see what I'm saying? Like, we do a lot of play on context with things. I don't really sit well with that. Like, don't take things out of context because you're trying to find a justification for what you're doing, because you don't want to call a thing and say what exactly it is. You using the example of African women twerking in comparison to you being on Instagram popping your cookies, that don't have nothing to do with no sexual liberation. That don't have nothing to do with being sexually liberated. There are plenty of women that I see that that give off sexually liberated, and then it's women that just give off like, I'm doing this for attention. That's just the facts of the matter. It's a young lady that I follow called Naked Memoir. You know, she takes nude New photos where she's nude, and it's artistic and it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not with the whole respectability politics, but it's a like we can't deny the fact that there's energy that's given with certain things. If you get a certain energy from one thing versus another, then it's clearly two types of frequencies and energy that is coming off for something. So if I look at her stuff and I'm like, oh man, when I look at it, it don't make me cringe. It doesn't make me be like, okay, that's raunchy. It doesn't, I'm like, oh man, that's beautiful. Provokes my own femininity. I'm seeing femininity in that. I'm seeing the femininity vibrate from what she does. But then if I'm looking at another young lady and she over here, my booty hole, and she twerking and doing all of that, like that doesn't come off to me as feminine. Doesn't come off to me as liberating. It tells me something else. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to take away from the women who do all those things. I feel like we all grow at different levels and different pace, and I'm not in a position to judge things, but we just have to be realistic about the stuff that we say. Like the way I dress and how I was when I was 20 and 19 is not the same way I dress as far as me being 39. Like when I was 20 and young and stuff, I was letting it hang, letting it flow, don't tell me how to dress. I was letting cheeks out, breasts out, and all that kind of stuff. I didn't know no better. I was young. And that's why I don't take anything from these young ladies, because they're young. Let them have fun. Let them express themselves. If they want to talk about their booty hole and their cheeks and, whatever else they want to talk about, let them be young. Let them express themselves. Let them do those things. But let's not call that, oh, that's sexual expression. That's sexual liberation. Let's not call it that when we know that's not what it is. It's just being young. It's wanting to be seen. It's wanting to dress the way you want to dress. It's wanting to gain attention. It's wanting to get eyes. It's wanting to be rebellious because you young and nobody can't tell you what to do. That's what it is. It's growing pains. And there's nothing wrong with growing pains. But we're not finna sit here to say that that's the standard of sexual liberation for women and what it means to be sexually liberated, because in some of that ain't even no femininity in some of the stuff that I see online. Some of it's just straight up raunchy. We ain't gonna act like some stuff just be raunchy. It's like we can't say these things anymore. And saying something is raunchy is that's just what it is. It ain't to down nobody. Ain't saying that you a horrible person. It's just saying that's just raunchy. That's some raunchy stuff. I do raunchy stuff. I do raunchy stuff in my bedroom with my husband. It's nothing wrong with channeling a little raunchy. But just call a thing a thing. Just call it what it is. Like I don't take nothing away from people like Suki and them, because to be quite honest with you, I look at these young ladies like Suki and Sexy Red and them, and I do appreciate their transparency. I appreciate their transparency. I appreciate that this who they are and they don't try to be something they're not. They're genuine. I appreciate their genuineness. I appreciate their authenticity. This is who they are. They're not trying to clean it up because people telling them to clean it up. They're being exactly who they are. That's what should be respected. Okay, you being who you are. But to say like this is female liberation, no, this is just somebody who's being authentically themselves, and that's who they are. But everything has moderation. There's a time and a place for everything. And then you have people speaking about, oh, it's respectability politics. Y'all trying to make people have to act and be a certain way because it makes you uncomfortable. No, you don't have to act and be a certain way. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be exactly who you are. But we also have to be mindful. the energy we put out is the energy that we get back. See, we want to look at one thing, but then we want to close our eyes to something else. We have to have the balance, and I feel like that's what we're missing. We don't have the balance. We are not trying to have balance. And the respecting your elders become respectability politics. I don't know, but neither here nor there. I just feel like us. I just feel like it's like nobody can tell us anything anymore as women. You know, as soon as somebody speak on something that goes against what we want or say, it's like immediate attack. People want to like, you know, and I feel like even the whole C culture is it's a godlike complex within itself, because it's like, who are you to feel like you can see somebody? Those were like a couple of things that just kind of like, I just, you know, I just feel like it was trying to pander to the whole women movement and all of that kind of stuff. So there were some things that was kind of contradictory in the documentary that, you know, I saw, and it made me feel a little indifferent. But go watch it for yourself. Netflix, ladies first. I definitely did like the parts with Queen Latifah. Certain things I learned that I didn't know, like her and Moni Love at 18, they were like teenagers and did a whole treatment for a video. I think that was fly. I think it was the MC Light story. I loved that story. I thought that story was fly. I had to go back and watch it and give a real full review on that. Maybe I'll do that separately. I just kind of rambled. I really didn't go into a real discussion, but I was just rambling today. But thank y'all for tuning in to this Mindful Conversation. Y'all drop a comment if y'all got something to say, you know, oppose, or if y'all agree. Drop it down. Be mindful. Be polite. Don't be rude. Don't be nasty. Press the like button if you enjoyed the video, and press that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I drop a new video, and I drop new videos weekly. That's all, y'all. I love y'all. Peace and blessings. Yeah.